Hello everyone and welcome to New Tech Tuesday Tutorials. I am your host Richard Evans. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Today I want to show you how to use the export media function on the 3Play 3P2. Now this function allows you to take clips from your clip list and publish them to YouTube, social media, LinkedIn, FTP client, you name it, while you are still running your regular show. So it also allows you to add a custom watermark to your clips when publishing them, eliminating the need for any outside editing, and gets your footage out to your audience lickety-split. So, let me show you how it's done, son! Alright. So here we are in the 3Play 3P2 interface. I'm not going to do any event capturing today. I just want to show you how to take the clips from your clip list or your playlist and bring those into our export media to distribute them wherever you want. Okay? So before we start to add some clips in here, let me go ahead and show you the central for export media, and that'll be at the top of the screen. You'll see there's a little export button here, and the gear icon next to that. If I click on that, that will allow you to see the different options available to you here. So this first option here, export media, that's going to open up the queue for the different clips that you start to add in here, which we'll take a look at here in a second. The next one, this is going to be a list of the different presets that you've already created, which all you would have to do is just simply put a checkbox next to them in order for them to be added to the same queue. So you can have a whole bunch of these in here. So let's say I had these two selected at the same time. What I can then do is whenever I export the list of clips that are in my export media queue, it will send them to either whatever's going on in export media here and to Facebook. And I can add a whole bunch of different presets into this list, which you can then find by creating them new one underneath that. So new preset, you'll see I have a whole bunch of different options here, everything from YouTube, Vimeo, Twitter, LinkedIn, FTP, Facebook, email, Dropbox, blah, blah, blah. Now each of these are going to look a little bit different when you sign into them. So like for example, I'll go to YouTube here. That's going to take you to another screen so you can sign into your account and then decide which page you want to send it to. And then let's go to FTP. Same thing, they all look a little bit different here. So this will ask for your username, password, the FTP site, how you want to send out that format, etc. All right, so really just depends on where you want to send these clips. Okay, but let's go ahead and I'm going to start a new preset here, which is Transcode. I use this one a lot. This one allows me to take these giant uncompressed clips here and then start to squish them down so that I can easily move them around and put them on a network attached storage, email it, etc. Okay, so for this one I can say the preset name here. We're going to leave that transcode preset. I'm going to go to file format and I'm going to select this H.264, leave it as encoding 1 megabyte per second. In the directory, let me send that to my network attached drive, which I have over here, and I've already made that folder called 3Play transcoding folder. Hit OK there. All right, now this will publish either clips and stills that I want to add in here. Now at the very bottom of all of your different presets, you do have an option to add a watermark to this. Now when you create your watermarks, basically what you need to do is make sure that your watermark that you've made in, say, Photoshop is going to be the same dimensions as your video. So I'm using a 1080 signal here, so my dimensions are 1920 by 1080, and then I've saved that out as a PNG with alpha channel, and then I basically, just the logo that I put on there is like 50% opacity. All right, so it's not too much things you have to do in there, but just wanted to give you that little hint. All right, so let's go, and I'm going to choose my watermark here. I'll go to browse, and I've already created it. That's okay, so cool. So just so you know, you aren't going to see that whenever you bring it in right here. So just keep that in mind whenever you do this. Okay, so now we have everything set up here. My export media queue is good to go. And now the next thing that I want to show you is how we start adding some of these clips in here. All right, so the first one that I'm going to go through is, I'll show you this one. So I've shown you this in previous videos. Let me go ahead and play that out. So this particular clip has some keyframing in here. You see those little tick marks mean that I have that. And let's say that I want to add this to our export media queue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my control panel here and click on Publish. Boop. And when I've done that, that has now added that clip to my export media queue. So let me go back up here to export media, click on that, go to export media, and there's my clip here. And then if I go over to the right side, you'll see that the preset here allows me to select all of these at the same time, or I can deselect one and just send it out that way. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck Facebook here because I don't need to be sending that out there. And I want to retitle this. Now this is going to be important for when you're saying wanting to shoot these clips out to social media, for example. So we don't want to call it 08 Cam 3. We want to call it something different. So let's go ahead and I am going to call this Breakaway. Okay. Now, before I go any further, I wanted to mention here that particular clip had a keyframe actions in it. And if you see over here on the left side, it says that it has a little keyframe icon, but if I hover over it, this says this clip contains keyframes created by the 3-play, which will be lost whenever we export those. So keep that in mind. So right now, if I render this out, it's just going to play that clip back without any keyframe tracking and zoom, etc. on there. So just keep that in mind whenever you're doing these. So on this one, I'm just going to title this one Breakaway. Whoops. No keyframes. All right. And that is just for example, okay? So I'm going to hit close on that. And let's say that I want to add this clip and send it out with keyframes. The best way to do that is to bring that clip into a playlist, then render that out with the keyframes already in it, and then add that to your export queue. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to open up this playlist over here, go to my clip, and then on my control panel, say Add to Playlist. Bam. So now I have that clip here in my playlist, so I'm going to put A into playlist mode and play that out. And now you'll see that it has my keyframes in there, etc. Boop, boop. There we go. Cool. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and on the playlist side of things, let's make that particular clip about 50% speed. So it'll be half time of that particular speed. And now let's go ahead and add that clip back to our clip list with the different changes that I made in here. So I'd go to Export to Clip List. And essentially what that's doing is it is rendering anything that's in my playlist here as a total clip and then throwing that into my clip list so I can use it however I want. All right, so let me just wait for that to finish rendering out. All right, so that is now the clip that I have rendered. So let's go into clip list mode again. And if I jog between the different angles here, since I did render this out, it only has the one angle. So keep that in mind. If I go back to the original clip, that's where I had all three angles in, I mean, all four angles in here. But since this one is rendered, it's just the one. All right, so let's go ahead and do that same thing. Add it to the export media queue by clicking Publish. Boom. All right, now let's go back to export. And just so we see what's in there, open the queue. So there is our clip going in there. Now you'll see that it doesn't have the keyframe in there because I've already rendered that out. I don't have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and type this in, Breakaway with keyframes. Boom. All right. All right, and also on the preset side of things, I'm going to uncheck Facebook again, and it's just going to send that out to Transcode. But again, I can load all of these up and send it to the same one. So for example, this first clip right now has just the Transcode preset, and this one has multiple selections, but I'm going to undo those, and now it only shows the one that I've highlighted. All right, so let's go ahead, and what I can do now to start to distribute this to my different places is just hit Export, or I can go to the top of the screen here and click Export as well. And when I do that, that's going to turn blue, and you'll know that that's doing its thing, and then you'll see that's rendering that clip. All right, so now it has basically gotten all these clips, and I have transcoded it with a watermark and thrown that to my network attached drive. Okay, so now instead of going to a different computer and bringing up a file directory to show it, I'm just going to bring these clips back into my clip list here. So let's go to an empty clip list. I'm going to click on Add Media. Let me browse my network, go to my Y drive to 3-play transcoding folder, and then you'll see, bam, those are the 2 clips that I've added with their titles. Let's go ahead and select all of those, and then click Open. Bam, now I got both of those. Okay, so cool. So when I did that, automatically now you see that I have the title that I put in there. And let's go ahead and hit play on this first one. So this one is going to be the breakaway with no keyframes. So let's click that and check it out. Boom, there is my graphic, my watermark there. Pretty cool. And now let's go to the next clip. Now this one is going to be the that rendered playlist that I made with the keyframes and zoom and tracking and the speed changes. Now again, since I had the watermark option open for my transcode preset, it's going to add that watermark to all of it. So this is going to make it super convenient when you're throwing your clips to social media. You don't have to do anything, have to worry about copywriting, etc. Just put that watermark on there and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and play that one out, and there you go. So this particular method is the same way as distributing it out to an FTP client, to social media, etc. I just happen to render this down into a smaller file format, but with that overlay. So this makes sending out your different clips to social media super simple, super easy, and just a touch of a button, and it doesn't have to interrupt anything you're doing during your broadcast. So as usual, play around with it and have some fun. As you can see, export media is a powerful function to help get your footage out quickly with branding without having to stop your production with the power of 3P2. All right, now if you like this video and want some more tutorial videos on NewTek products, be sure to subscribe to the NewTek YouTube channel at youtube.com/NewTekInc. And for formal NewTek product training, check out NewTek University at newtek.com/NewTek-U. To find out more about NewTek products and services, contact your local reseller or visit our website, newtek.com. And you can even sign up for a free NewTek product demonstration in the comfort of your own home by signing up at newtek.com/demo. And as always, if you're posting your work using NewTek products on social media, be sure to tag us using the hashtags NewTek, TriCaster, or Replay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this tutorial is helpful, and I'll see you again soon for another episode of NewTek Tuesday Tutorials.